My Tarantula Pro 3D printer here had a little accident. I dropped it, so I guess it's on me. It landed on the front corner over here by the control knob to go up and down the menu, and although it still kind of sort of sometimes works, you really got to fool with that knob to get it to do anything. So I ordered another control panel right here from TiVo, and it took about 3 weeks to get it, but of course it came from China. But I need to get this replaced on here, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'll kind of guide you through it. It's pretty simple. You don't really need to take the printer apart. If I lay it on its side or on its back, I can get to everything. Okay, right here is what I'm working on. I'm replacing this panel here. I already took the knob off, and again, here's my new control panel on the front. This is held in with 4 screws in the front. This is in case you ever need to do this. And then there are spacers, and then there's a circuit board, and then there's screws on the back. And I thought, well, I'll just take the screws off from the back. The problem is you can't get to the back screw where this one here is. So I'm going to have to take it off from the front, take it out, disassemble everything, put it together out here, then put it back in again. We'll start by taking out these 4 screws on the front here. Try not to lose them. That's what's nice about these little silicone work mats like this. Got little compartments to put your parts and pieces in. And the old assembly slips out like this. There's 2 ribbon cables on the back. And then I'll have 4 screws here to take and transfer to the new board and put these spacers back on. I think I'll take care of the spacers here first. Oh, dang, fries are done. The beeping noise was one of my 3D printers just finished. Well, they did send new ribbon cables to go with this control panel, but that would then require me to take the whole bottom off and go clear to the motherboard, and I don't see any reason to do that. That and these are already coated, and there's nothing wrong with these cables. So what I need to do now is transfer those screws and spacers onto this screen. It's also important when you're working with these electronics that you remain what I call grounded. You don't want any static electricity build up. That's what's nice about these anti-static mats like this. And if I was not able to stay in contact with this, there is a wrist strap here that comes with this I could put on. We'll get these snug. You don't want to over tighten these, you'll crack the circuit board. Just want them snug. Now it's a matter of transferring the cables. You'll notice I did not unplug those right away because they're both the same, but you can't plug them in just anywhere. They have to be plugged in where they belong. So this way I could transfer them one at a time and make sure they go back into the right sockets. That was number 2. That's number 2. Number 1. I have a little protective film to take off of the LCD screen there. Put this one on the floor somewhere. So now I got to get this back in there. Got to figure out how I wiggled that out of there the first time. Well, I see why I can't get that back in. Here's the old one. You see how long the shaft is. Here's the new one. See how long that shaft is. That means I'm going to have to take the front plate loose. There. Didn't want to do that. This is the corner where I dropped it. That's why that's bent. But this should give me enough space now to give me enough play. Yeah. Be able to put that in there. Why does nothing line up? Well, how about that? This is supposed to fit that. Not even close. They both have the same numbers. MKS Mini 12864. Well, now what am I going to do here? Well, I'm not beyond modifying this front panel to make it work. In fact, I can even straighten out my little boo-boo there now that I have this off. But first I want to make sure this is actually going to work before I do that. Well, it does light up. But I can't read anything it says. I'm putting the old one back on there, board. My problem is this pot right here. This is not working correctly anymore. And these appear to be the same. My other option would be to desolder this one off of here and desolder that one off of there and put it on here. I'm not going to screw around trying to return this. This was not very expensive. I'm not going to go through the hassle of that. So everything else on this works except for trying to turn this to get to select. Sometimes you turn it, it'll jump 4 or 5 lines, and sometimes you turn it, doesn't do anything. Well, might as well go with the spiffy little silver knob now. Now I'll put the rest of this back together. Okay, we're all put back together here. We'll power it up and see what happens. Better work. Yellow screen comes on. Yeah, that works much better now. Would have been easier if I didn't have to swap that pot, but everything's working good now. So there's a little 2-in-1 video demonstration on this Kai-C, I think is the way you pronounce it. This anti-static silicone work mat. These things are absolutely fantastic. I do have another one that's much smaller than this. I use it's in the basement of the house there where I work on my computers and so on. So I'm going to keep this one up here in the loft for things like this. I wish that would have gone a little smoother without me having to do all that horsing around with changing the selector switch pot on there, but hell, it is what it is, and I wasn't going to return that other one. So I just run this down to where my soldering stuff was, unsoldered one and off the new board, and unsoldered the one off the old board, and then soldered the new one back on, so we're good to go there. I didn't show that, that's kind of mundane. Best advice is don't drop them, especially on that corner. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up, always helps the channel. Roger in the loft above the shop. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next one.